G'day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Battle video. In this video we're going to be taking on the Infinite Dragon Ball History event, the latest stage against the Dragon Ball GT Baby Saga. So this is the latest Infinite Dragon Ball History stage, and I think it's pretty straightforward. I think for the most part it kind of falls in line with the previous Infinite Dragon Ball History stages. You have 8 phases. The missions that are required to be completed are to clear with 3 full power characters, 3 GT Heroes characters, and clearing the event in 14 turns. If you bring a friend GT Goku, you basically complete all of this pretty easily, because Goku will, basically destroy the entire opposition. So let's talk about the phases. We have the first phase against Strength Baby, who's immune to stunning. Then from the second phase onwards, the boss is immune to stunning and sealing, so stock standard. You'll also be immune to attack lowering. And from the 5th phase against AGL Baby, they will become immune to defense lowering. The 7th phase against Int Baby will lock some of your characters in place. And the final phase against AGL Baby will be able to essentially do a special AoE attack, and he disables evasion. Pretty standard stuff. Now, like I said, if you have the Int SS4 Goku as a friend lead, you can basically win this event solo through him, almost. He leads GT Heroes and full power. We're using an entirely free-to-play team, and he will carry us to victory on the wings of his mighty ape-like back. So pretty easy stuff. In terms of our team, there are 2 non-free-to-play characters. This is because GT Heroes does not have a wide selection of free-to-play characters. It actually lacks free-to-play characters quite a lot. We have the Tech GT Goku Youth, and he's a very solid unit for our team. But beyond that, there's not too many. There's like the Int Giant Ape Vegeta, who you can get away with probably putting in this team. However, it's just going to hinder you in the long run, and you might as well just not do it, basically, to cut a long story short. Now, in terms of like the team construct, it's fairly straightforward. We're running everyone under a Turtle School lead. It was the easiest way to kind of put everything together. The Turtle School leader is the LR Master Roshi, who continues to be one of the most useful LR characters of all time. I quite genuinely believe that he is realistically one of the best LR units of all time. His leader skill has come in clutch so many times, and his functionality is just great. So we have him as the lead for us. He's a Turtle School 120% lead. He has defense of 120%, medium chance of evasion. He gives Turtle School category characters a buff, and he also gives us a revive mechanic. So overall, he's just really good. The rest of our characters will fall under Turtle School, so we're going to be fine because we're running predominantly on Gokus and obviously on Krillin. Speaking of the full power category selections, we have the physical LR Goku, the Greatest Warrior Mission 1, and we have the Easy Aid physical Prime Battle Krillin. Prime Battle Krillin is really solid with his ability to raise his attack and defense permanently on his 18 key. He has attack and defense of 160%, and he gains additional defense when facing only one enemy. He will basically gain attack and defense per existing enemy, which only starts from the 2nd, so that doesn't really come into play. However, he's just pretty solid. Realistically speaking, I find him to be a really good unit, especially in some of these longer events that don't start out so hard, because he really has the ability to then build up his attack and defense and be a really reliable option overall. So I really quite like him in that position. Next we have the physical LR Goku, the Greatest Warrior Mission Goku. Fantastic unit who greatly raises attack and defense on his 18 key. He's also a superclass support, or an all-ally support I should say, which is really helpful. And when attacking extreme class enemies, he gains key of 3 and attack of 59%, which is really good. He also raises his attack temporarily on his active skill, which also comes in handy quite a lot, and leaves us in a pretty good position overall. Again, we then sit in a position where we're quite comfortable. So Goku's a really solid selection. Then, obviously, the final free-to-play character, I guess, that we'll be using is the Tech GT Goku. Now, Tech GT Goku, you can get from the Black Star Dragon Ball DB story event, and he's pretty solid. You don't have to use him again, but he is pretty good. there is a little bit of a limitation on him because he basically, has that additional defense and attack when performing a super attack for the first 7 turns from the start of battle. But it's really not too bad. He creates rainbow key spheres because we're facing GT bosses, category enemies, so he does come in handy quite a bit. And as long as you get him some orbs, he's usually more than fine as a unit. Consider him like a baby version of the physical Goku, the physical Super Saiyan Goku. Now, speaking of GT heroes, the other 2 selections are going to be pretty much units that help facilitate the Turtle School kind of build. So we have here the Strength SS4 Goku and the Physical Super Saiyan Goku Youth. Now, the Strength Super Saiyan 4 Goku is pretty solid. He is realistically quite a good unit. Obviously, after his ECA, he raises his defense for 6 turns by 30%, which is quite helpful. And then he also obviously has that attack and defense of 150% and at 120%. He also has a medium chance of nullifying the oppositions at the super attack and countering with tremendous power, which is really, really solid and helps us in some tight situations. And finally, we have the Super Saiyan Goku GT. He is a GT Heroes lead, so we could in fact kind of use him, or a Goku's family, but then we wouldn't have access to the Master Roshi nor to the Krillin, so we'd have to change our full power lineup a little bit. I thought this team still worked pretty well, and you can replace Goku with any GT version of Goku, which is pretty good, and should leave you in a pretty solid position. Goku will greatly raise his attack and raise his defense for 1 turn, and also he is a bit of a nuking unit that gains an additional 20% attack per key sphere obtained, and also gains 50% defense per GT Heroes category ally included in the turn. So pretty good stuff. Overall, really solid units. I think the team ran pretty well. I think it has a very decent level of free-to-play foundation for it to run off of. And again, most of the time we are facilitating it with the int SS4 Goku, who just basically acts as a kind of win condition for the entire team. Realistically speaking, he is our win condition by a country mile, so he's a really, really, really good option and great foundation for the team to build off of. So because he leads GT Heroes or full power, he has full coverage of the team at 170%, and he makes up a little bit for the 120% that we apply from Turtle School, because he gives both of our Goku units an additional 30%. So in reality, we're running a relatively okay leader skill. Obviously, we want to use his standby skill for a couple reasons. Firstly, it augments his damage quite substantially, which is really, really good. And then secondly as well, we do want to obviously beef up the rest of our team at that point as well. Now, facing Baby, probably didn't even need to use an item, to be honest with you. I always forget how difficult Infinite Dragon Ball history is on a scaling perspective, but the AGL Baby hits at around 300,000 in terms of his attack. So I'd probably wager the first iteration of AGL Baby. I believe the ape version probably will hit at around the 600, 700k, but realistically speaking, it's super duper easy. Honestly, the int Goku is incredibly, basically a solo mechanism. He doesn't really, we don't have any problems, because he basically does half the boss's health, and if he gets an additional, he basically could solo the boss, pretty much any phase, because of his crits and all the mechanics and everything. So for me, I'd have to say, from my perspective, that I think this is quite easy. I think Goku makes it quite easy. We also have a really good free-to-play roster for this. Krillin is really good, as you can see there, even under a lower leader skill, hitting 700 million attacks. I don't know what 170,000 came from. Goku is really solid as well. Even Master Roshi is incredibly useful and can do some decent damage as well. So all three are more than fine, and we can operate quite comfortably with them. And of course as well, when you throw Goku into the mix, then you just have way too much damage, and essentially everything becomes easy mode. which is fine as well. It's not really a major problem. So yeah, for me, I do find that Goku kind of trivialized the event a little bit, which is okay. It's not really the end of the world that Goku basically one-shot or soloed the event. It's more than fine. But yeah, if you bring him as a friend, you shouldn't have any problems. And he accommodates your requirements for your team really, really well. So everything gets done quite quickly. And within 14 turns, pretty easily. But yeah, that is basically going to be it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like. And if you need any more help, you can let me know in the comments section. I will gladly assist you. But until then, as always, I thank you guys for watching. Take care, stay safe. And yeah, as always, it's been a pleasure. I will see you guys in the next one. So until then, take care, stay safe, and bye.